everyone, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. I'm really happy to have you here with me today where we are going to take a little walkabout the farm. We spend a lot of time in the gardens in the summertime here on my channel and in the kitchen getting all of the food that we grow in the garden preserved for winter. But we don't spend a lot of time walking around the rest of the farm. So I thought it might be fun today to catch you up on some of the other things that are going on the property and with the animals this time of year. To give you a little perspective, that is the main house up there. The bunkie is over there. Our little gym is right here. And then down over this way is the forest garden and the main vegetable garden with the high tunnel in the back over there. And that is where we spend a lot of time in the summer. And there's a reason for that. It is because it is my happy place. I absolutely love gardening so much. But there's lots of other aspects of living here on our farm that I also enjoy. We are in the process right now of kind of getting ready for winter. That includes getting all of the sheds cleaned, getting the barn cleaned, getting everything ready so that when the cold temperatures come, we don't have any of that cleanup that we need to do. So one of the big projects that we've been working on over the last couple of weeks is the barn. The barn, it's just, I don't know what it is about the barn, but it's kind of a catch-all for everything around the farm. Our barn was built in, we think, the 1920s, 1930s, somewhere in that range. And it is a beautiful old log barn, and it still has clay chinking, which I love. This is our milking stanchion. We like to milk the cow outside during the summertime, but in the winter, we have this area right here. That's kind of a collection area for a bunch of junk right now. This area we set up for our milking area because there is a concrete floor here. It's the only part of our barn that has a concrete floor. And our dream is to actually close this in and make it a heated milking parlor. That would make milking when it's -30 outside a lot more pleasurable. We still have, oh, you can't really see it. How am I gonna make it so you can see that? Ah, there we go. The old ladder that used to go up to the old hayloft. Back in the 1980s, they built a second floor onto this barn for storage. They used it for hay storage for a long time. And now we use it as a place to store all kinds of stuff. We have tons of bins of all kinds of stuff up here. And you know what I can smell in here? Is pack rat. We have had a huge issue with pack rats this year. I'll put a picture of what a pack rat looks like on the screen, and for something so cute you would think it wouldn't be such a menace, but the thing about a pack rat is they build these huge nests and they actually defecate in their nest, so it basically becomes this huge pile of poop and urine, and it's just absolutely disgusting. Smells gross. I can smell it, so there's definitely a pack rat in here somewhere. So we've been trying to get rid of them all summer, but we apparently have not been entirely successful. So anyway, this is the top floor of our barn. We have done most of the cleaning and organizing in here over this last 3 or 4 weeks. We just have one pile left of garbage in the middle that we need to scoop up and haul away to the dump. Down here, what we want to do is to build some permanent pens in here. Normally what we do is we bring in panels when we need to have pens set up in here for animals. But we want to do something permanent that can be both for larger animals like cows and also our sheep. We also do all of our brooding of our chickens and our turkeys in here in the springtime, and we use this sprout box to start most of our chicks. And this little pen that's in front of the barn, we used to keep our pigs in here, but we no longer have pigs on the farm. We have our little bull in here right now. Even though he's so big, he's still trying to nurse off his mom. So I've been drying her off, and once she's completely dry, he'll be able to go back out with the main herd again. I put one of my Simply Merino sweaters on this morning because it was chilly, but now the sun is out. That's the kind of the challenge with this time of year, is it'll be chilly enough to be very layered in the morning and then be warm enough to be in a t-shirt by lunchtime. This beautiful girl here, this is Ivy, and she is 27 years old, and she is just so sweet. This little sassy pants here, this is Freya. She is our little Shetland cross pony, and she has some attitude. And this handsome man here, he's a little bit shy of the camera. It's okay, buddy. This is Archie, and he is actually here for the next month or so. We are trying him out. We were looking for a bit of a younger horse for our girls, just because Ivy is getting to the point where she doesn't want to be ridden anymore. And he is just a really gentle guy, aren't you, buddy? And then back over here, we have our turkey lurkeys over here. So these ones with the long kind of hanging off thing off their nose, those are the males. And then these little ones right here are the females. Hey guys. So they have a little shelter over there. They actually perch on top of that at night. And then they have this big pen here where they hang out during the daytime. I can hear Dan on one of the tractors out there. He is just harrowing the driveway. I'll show you what the harrows are when we go back up there. But it's basically like running a giant rake over the driveway just to fill in any of the potholes with the extra gravel that he can pull up with the harrows. We did butcher our 2 steers that we had for meat a couple of days ago. So now all we have left is our dairy cows and then their calves that we're actually going to be selling here pretty quick. We have 3 heifers actually. We have a yearling heifer that is going to be for sale in the next couple of weeks. And then we have this girl up here. This is Milkweed's daughter. And she is, if I remember correctly, she's around 9 months old or so. And she is really sweet. So she is a milking shorthorn and a really, really nice temperament. She's gonna make a nice family milk cow one day. And then this is my honey bunny over here. She's one of my favorite milk cows. She's such a sweetheart. Hello, girl. How you doing? This is Thistle and Thistle's calf, Aster, who, isn't she pretty? She looks exactly like her mama. All our milk cows are really friendly. You're such a good girl. And then over there we have Milkweed, and Milkweed is this girl's mama. So this is Milkweed over here, and I really like this cow. Actually, all 3 of the milk cows that we have right now are just absolutely lovely. We got them about 1.5 years ago from a dairy, a commercial dairy actually. Look at her beautiful coloring. I just love that brindle coloring on her. It's so beautiful. Good girl. You would think that milk cows from a dairy wouldn't do well or have a good transition to being in a small situation like ours where they're being hand milked, but all 3 of these cows did absolutely amazing transferring to hand milking. We also have a milking machine, but we mostly hand milk, and they're dream cows. If you follow me over on Instagram, I share sunrises over there just about every morning, and the sunrise view is from down over here, and I film it from my deck right up there. And then you can see the garden goes all the way along there and the high tunnel over that way. I am gonna have to go change my shirt before we head up the mountain. It is way too warm for a sweater. Oh my goodness. We'll take a wander through the garden on our way up to the house because I can hardly ever pass up an opportunity to walk through the garden if it comes my way. We have such beautiful sunflowers this year. Just gorgeous. Look at the color of that one. Isn't that pretty? I'll show you some of my favorite spaces in the garden this year. I love this part of the garden right here because I love all of the different textures that are in this bed. All the plants that are kind of mixed up together, the way these leaves look against the sunflower, and then the bean tower in the back. I just think that's so pretty. And then of course, through here, they love the way that this looks right here. I am a big advocate of planting flowers in amongst your vegetables and also mixing plants up so that you have different textures and colors in each row. I just think it looks so pretty. Just gorgeous. My garden brings me endless joy. My daughter is just absolutely thrilled with her little flower garden because it's just filled with beautiful color right now. And then the forest garden, which is needing another little trim here. It's starting to close in on itself. Some beautiful bee balm. The bumblebees absolutely love this stuff, also called wild oregano. And look at this, this is so exciting. So these are sea buckthorn berries. So they're going to get quite orange, and then we're going to pick them. And I actually just purchased a steam juicer so that I can juice these, because these are filled with so many antioxidants. So my goal is to make juice out of these and then freeze them just in ice cube trays, so that I can pull one out when we have colds in the winter and give ourselves a little vitamin C boost. But this is the first year that this has produced for me, so it's pretty exciting because I planted this 6 years ago, I think. It took a long time to actually start producing. Okay, let's go get changed. That's a million times better. So let's go grab the quad and I'll show you some of the stuff that Dan has been doing in the last couple weeks. He has been a busy guy. Okay, stop one is right here. So this is an area that he has just finished grading, and then he has to harrow it, and then we're gonna seed it. And we are just putting in a new fence. You can see all the fence posts there on the back of the truck, along this side, and then along the edge of the driveway right here. And then this is going to be an extension of our hayfield over there. So we're going to be removing this fence line and have it all connected. And I just love having this all open right down to our driveway. There's the bunkie. So that right there, this is what we call the LMR fire suppression unit. So it has a fire pump and a fire hose, and then it's filled with water, and then we have shovels and rakes there. And that's just in case there are any small fires that break out on our mountainside that's forested, because we are out of the forest fire district area. So we kind of need to rely on ourselves. So it feels pretty good to have this. So down here is the other meadow that Dan has been working on throughout the summer. So we have our slash piles that we're gonna have to burn in the winter from our logging. But next spring, we should be able to hay this and have a really nice hay field up here, which is quite exciting. So what I'm going to show you right now has been a huge learning curve, to say the least. So this is the area that we found kind of a wet spot, and we talked to our local regulatory boards, and we were able to get permission to dig there to see if we could create a dugout, an area for water to settle. And we suspected that there was potentially some water that was seeping out of the base of this hill here. So when we put a couple of holes in with the excavator, they filled with water really, really quickly. So we were quite excited about building a pond up here. So that's what we did. We dug a big giant hole, and as you can see, it is indeed filling with water. However, we found a spot. I'm not sure if I can get over there to show you. I'll try. We found a spot where the water was visibly coming out, so a spring. We live in an area where there's lots of springs, so this one didn't come as a huge surprise to us. But we realized after we dug the hole, the spring is coming out right down over there. We realized that we didn't want the spring to actually be running right into the pond. And the reason for that is because we would love to cap that and have clean water that we could potentially use for another cabin. Hi, Han! And having the spring run right into the pond like this wasn't going to work for that purpose. So what we realized we should have done is to actually dig the pond down over this way and then have the spring capped. and then have just a little creek running out from that into the pond to fill the pond. So we kind of have to start all over again. This is kind of how the things go when you are doing things yourself and also when you're just learning. So we are actually going to fill this in, except for the part where the water's coming out, cap that all properly. We have to learn about capping a spring properly, and then we'll run the water from there down into a pond that we're going to build down here. So that requires filling this hole back up again and kind of starting over in a way. But the way that Dan and I look at stuff like this is that we've never done it before, so of course you don't know what you don't know till you know, and we've learned a lot about building ponds and springs and all that kind of stuff. So we're excited about the next step to this project, and we're hoping by kind of the end of the fall that we have this, at least have the spring capped, and then we'll be able to work on pond building down here next spring. Hello! How's it going? How did you get up here? Did you?
Oh, the tractor's down there.
Oh, because you were harrowing the driveway?
Yeah. So this...
Okay, Dan's actually going to take us up to the top of the property so I can show you the view from up there. It's so beautiful. Look at all the beautiful wildflowers up here. This is a type of hawkweed. We have asters up here and some beautiful fireweed. This one is a wild spinach. I think it's called strawberry spinach. It's really, really pretty up here. Beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous meadow. Can you guys see that? There's an eagle way up there. A bald eagle. Yeah, that was a big one. The tractor that's right there, that metal thing that's hanging out behind it, that is what the harrows are. So they're basically like almost like chainmail with big hooks in it, so it levels the road out. So that's what Dan was doing earlier. I really would like to put like a little cabin up here one day. Look at this, you guys. You can see just a glimmer of the view through the trees. It's so magnificent. I feel like I'm on a completely different planet up here. Oh, it smells so amazing. You can see our cows way, way down there in the field. Look at that. So this is the very top of our property. And I could just sit up here and stare at this view forever. I like the opened spot right there, hun, that we opened up on the hill. I never actually realized that that's where that was before. I love the wind up here. I love how quiet it is outside of the ravens.
This would be a good spot for a gazebo.
A gazebo?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so that you could leave a barbecue in it and
come up and have a picnic way up here. Yeah.
A little quad adventure up here. Have some food. Go for a swim.
That's so beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous, friends? Oh my gosh. So beautiful. It's quite the cliff from up here. It is actually a cliff. Look at how beautiful that is. It's like a rock cliff that goes all the way along here and all the way along the top of our property that way. So you can see this gives kind of better perspective to the way that we logged, because we just logged little sections out everywhere. You can see down over there, that one area that we drove through there. But there's lots and lots of forest left up here.
Look at this one. I never noticed it was like way over there. It's just like this continuous cliff. It goes in and it goes in and just wraps around. And kind of
I know.
Going. Like,
I know, it's really beautiful.
It's really neat.
It's quite gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot. All right, friends, that is going to be it for me today. Dan and I are going to hang out up here for a little bit and just enjoy this view. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.